I'm devastated, you guys. I woke up this morning excited to record another dev chat update video, and the first thing I saw was that Paralives Early Access has been delayed until May 25th, 2026. Honestly, there's a lot from the dev chat that I want to go through. There were heaps of interesting questions this week, so I've decided to make a separate video to cover all of that later. But obviously the big news today is that early access is delayed, so let's get into that. And towards the end of the video, I'll also go through the updated roadmap with the improvements that devs have committed to working on before the new early access release date too. So we got this update from Alex, who's the lead developer of the game. Unfortunately, we had to make the difficult decision to delay the release. We are truly sorry for the last minute announcement. After thoughtful consideration, we feel it's best for the game and the community. This year we ran many playtests with friends and fans, and we were confident that we could improve the game enough in time for December. In the lead up to early access release, we broadened our playtests with a more varied player base, and the latest feedback we received made us realize the game isn't up to the standard we wanted it to meet for release. Players enjoy the flexibility and the customization of Power Maker and Build mode, however there are still impactful bugs in the Live mode and a lack of activities to do in the town, which dampen the enjoyment of the players, and we feel it's necessary to work on these before delivering the product to the community. I started this project wanting it to be a fresh and indie take on the dollhouse life simulation genre, which has not been tackled by many game developers. I attribute this partly to the fact that a project like Paralives is a colossal task. Life sims are really 3 games in one: an advanced and flexible build mode, a greatly customizable character creator, and a complex life simulation mode. Over the last 6 years of development, starting with 2 to 3 developers for the first years to growing an average team size of only 10 people, we had to alternate long stretches of development between these 3 parts of the game. We are so proud of what we have built, but for now we just need a bit more time to polish the simulation part of the game. This would ensure Paralives offers a great first experience when it launches, making players come back for every exciting free update and expansion that we will put out afterwards. The new early access release date is May 25, 2026. We have updated our detailed roadmap with what we will be improving over the coming months, with a focus on fixing important issues and improving the first time user experience. This will ensure that more players will be happy with the state of the game at launch when comparing it to other great life simulation games that sparked everyone's love for the genre. On Tuesday, November 25 at noon EDT, we will stream 45 minutes of uninterrupted Live mode gameplay on our YouTube channel to show the current state of the game, the various gameplay features, and explain what we will be improving before launch. We plan on keeping you all updated with streams and videos leading up to the new release date. We remain fully committed to making a quality and innovative game with the support of the community and to updating it for years to come after release. We're beyond grateful for your continuous support, and it means the world to our small team of passionate developers. I'm honestly just so devastated about this news, and I'm sure many of you probably are as well. I think if they'd done this last week, I probably would have taken the news a bit better, but they released a video on what to expect for early access just last week, and then the computer specs just a few days ago, so I feel a bit blindsided, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very excited for this game, and I know these kinds of delays happen all the time with new games, but having it be 3 weeks out from release and days after separate announcements with more early access information is just kind of confusing to me. I think if they hadn't released the specs and that early access expectations video and just pushed back the delay last week, I think that would have made a lot more sense. But yeah, this is a bit disappointing. We have definitely seen a lot of Power Maker and Build mode so far, and not so much from Live mode, and people have been calling that out over the last few weeks, wanting to see more of it. So from the announcement, it does seem that Live mode is the main issue here, which is probably why we haven't seen much of it yet. The post announced an uninterrupted Live mode livestream on YouTube soon, so we will get to see the current state of Live mode. And to be honest, I do think it's a good thing that they announced a delay and are still willing to show us Live mode in the current state so we can actually take a look at where it's at, and they will be explaining their plans for what they'll improve before the launch as well. I saw someone ask on Twitter if they'd consider releasing a Paramaker demo, and from the response it seems that won't be happening because it will take effort away from improving the game, and I think that's fair. Like, they're only a small team. It would probably be better that they spend their time focused on the real early access version, even though it does kind of suck for us that we won't have something to play around with, but it is what it is. They're only a small indie team, so I think that's perfectly reasonable. I am glad that they've identified the issues with Live mode and they want to make the game better for us, but yeah, I'm still so disappointed that we can't play it earlier even with bugs. I know they probably want to manage the reputation of the game because we can see what happened with Inzoi earlier in the year. Inzoi's had a bunch of development since their early access release, and a lot of content has been added to the game, but the launch was so bad and it really turned a lot of people off, and I highly doubt that a significant portion of those people will ever go back. So I get where the Paralives team is coming from. Personally, I'm totally fine to play it even if there are bugs and lots of missing content. I think those things are just expected when you're dealing with an early access version, but the team might have been worried that not everyone is going to think the same way, and that bugs and issues that some people don't really mind might be deal breakers for others, and the community can be very vocal and divisive about things like that. So I get it, and I feel for the team. I think they've got a pretty huge job in making this game. They did say, you know, it's 3 games in one. We've got Paramaker, build mode, and live mode, so it is a huge task. But yeah, it's always upsetting to have a date that you're looking forward to and then that date changes. They do have an updated roadmap now, and I imagine some of these things are going to be addressed in the upcoming live stream. This roadmap has been around for a while, and you can kind of track the status of different items and check like what's in progress and what's been completed and what's planned for the future. But they have gone in and added some new tasks, and you can actually open each task and see when it was created, so you can work out which ones are actually new items. So I just wanted to go in and take a look. If you scroll down, there is like a filter section, so you can filter by live mode items, Paramaker, build mode, general features, and modding tools. I think live mode is probably the most interesting for today because obviously that's what they plan to focus on, but we can see all of the things that they've added and completed. So these are in the done category here. So things like controlling the speed of time or pausing it, day and night cycle, walking, jogging, and running animations, etc. Like we've already seen a whole bunch of this stuff before. There's also stuff that's in progress. So creating many character interactions and animations for the live mode, creating sound effects for the live mode, creating more words and recordings for Paralives, special character behavior, balancing the game progression, and new characters can move into town. So all of these are old items, none of these are new. They've been working on them for a while. They're just things that are still being worked on. But the interesting section for today is the before the early access release section. The first 2 items here have been in here for a while. They're old tasks, but there's still things that are being planned. So creating a tutorial for live mode and adding in town events and activities. But all of the things with the white cover photos are new things. If you actually click on them, you can see that they're created on November 15, 2025. But we do have quite a few items here. So improve shops and what they sell, add more interactions to do on public lots around town, add more activities to do around town every day, create tutorial for life goals, create tutorial for build mode, create tutorial for emotions and wants, improve NPC autonomy based on the specific lot type they're at, make sure that NPCs are found inside shops, restaurants, and public lots that you visit to make these places more lively. And I'm really glad to see these 2 here because it is an open world and you do want to see townies out and about actually doing things, and the places that you actually visit in town, if they're empty, it's kind of a bit disappointing. I know some people complain about that in The Sims 3, like you might go to a lot and nobody else is there. It takes a little while for people to kind of spawn in. So the fact that they're looking at this stuff I think is a really good thing. We also have work on the NPC routines around town to improve immersion, fix bugs around NPC routines around the town, add ability to find parafolks on the town map, call them on the phone and invite them home to more easily continue relationship development with a given parafolk that you have met in town. And I know that calling paras and inviting them over was something that they said wouldn't be in the early access version, so I think they've reconsidered that. I am glad to see that that is actually going to be added after all for early access. And the last one for live mode is fix many bugs around pathfinding to make sure every house and every spot in the town has no pathfinding issue. I think this is a good thing. Like pathfinding can be annoying. If your para's not able to get to a spot where you're trying to get them to go and they're just getting stuck, then that's going to be quite frustrating. They do also have a during early access section, and I don't think this stuff has been updated because they are old tasks, like this one, handling interaction and path conflicts between characters. This was from 2022. I think they probably need to go and update this a little bit. I did see call paras over the phone or chat with them online, but that kind of conflicts with the task just above it here with like calling paras on the phone and inviting them over. So yeah, they probably have just added these tasks but haven't updated the existing tasks that were already on the Notion roadmap. I did go through Paramaker, build mode, general features, and the modding tool sections as well, and I didn't see any new tasks for those ones. It only seems to have been new items for live mode specifically. But yeah, let me know if I did miss anything. I don't think I did, but there are quite a few tasks on here. I do think they probably will go through some of this stuff in a bit more detail in the YouTube live stream that's coming up in a few days. I'm not sure if they will be answering questions in the live stream. They might just want to actually show the gameplay and leave it at that. But it's worth asking, like, if you have burning questions in there, other people might have the same question about some of these tasks, and maybe they'll consider answering a couple of questions if enough people are wanting that. But they might also have some other opportunities to ask questions, so definitely don't hand them if they're only planning to actually show the live mode during that live stream. It is nice though to have this Notion roadmap and to be able to actually follow along with the team's progress, because we'll be able to watch the status of some of these tasks go from before the early access release to in progress and then to done. So with all this news about the delay, I still plan to continue making videos on Paralives news because honestly, I'm having a really great time doing this, but I will be mixing in some other content, which I did already start doing last week with my first ever Let's Play of this really cute game called Utterly Lost. I am also working on a separate video on the future of this channel, so just to be clear, I do still intend for this channel to have a major focus on Paralives. I'll put out update videos when we do get news, but yeah, I don't really want to just put out videos that don't really have any substance to it. So I do have some other ideas and I'd love to hear what you guys want to see, so sometime soon I will release a video where I'll go into that in a bit more detail. Anyway, let me know how you're feeling about the early access delay, and please be nice to each other. Everyone's feelings are valid here. It's okay to be upset and it's also okay to have other opinions, but it's not okay to attack people. Just please be respectful. And just a heads up, if you want to stay up to date with Paralives news, I have a playlist linked on the screen now. All of my previous news videos are in there and all my future updates will go in there as well. And I will be doing the dev chat update very, very soon, so stay tuned for that one because there is some really interesting stuff in this week's one. So I'm excited to go into that, but that's all for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.